For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Disease! Pestilence!
Yeah, perpetual Scream. He's got the suds.
Oh.
We knew it was coming.
And I have places to be.
It doesn't matter. You're contagious. This is the thing that has happened with our society, the lack of common sense. If somebody is unwell, they need to stay at the house until they are well again.
Tell that to the employers, because they're the ones usually, they're behind it.
I get it. I do. I mean, it's like, and that is something, we are recording this on the evening of November the 1st of 2024. And the level of insanity is reaching a fever pitch. I mean, it truly is.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can feel it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But as far as some of these things that they do need to be re-examined. It's foolishness if you have somebody that is unwell to expect them to continue as if they were well. That's foolishness, because then that spreads everywhere.
Yeah. But, human lives don't matter when it's all about the bottom dollar.
Well, that's where it's a matter of the human lives need to figure out an alternative plan. And some of the human lives are.
Yeah.
Some of them really are.
They've been going back to bartering.
Yes.
Which is a very damn good way of doing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, instead of a piece of paper saying, hey, I'm going to give you this piece of paper represents value. It's like, okay, I made a loaf of bread. I will trade you a loaf of bread for, butter.
Mm-hmm.
Or give me some butter and I'll make us both bread. Or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I make you 2 loaves of bread, you give me a set of eggs.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, and that's just how that worked for a very long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that had equal value or had value to whomever. And it's just,
It's craziness right now.
It is. And the level of deception and lies has been thick to the point that it's, honestly, I will say that David Palmer has had a change of heart in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And he did put up a video there on Halloween, and he was dressed as a colonialist.
I saw that.
It was cute.
I haven't watched the full video, though.
But he had a valid message.
Okay.
And I think that he has, even if his verbiage was not what a lot of us would have liked for it to have been, I think he has backed off on his vitriol towards Christians and Christ. That was what had gotten me.
Mm-hmm.
I will put up with a lot, but blasphemy, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. And it's like, that was when my money's to listen to him, and if I was no longer getting the value. I mean, it's like, why would I pay somebody to blaspheme my belief system and my God?
Right.
Yeah, no. That's stupid.
Well, notice how shortly after he did that he went living paycheck to paycheck.
I told you that was going to happen. I had told you that years ago. I said, God is going to call him back, and he is going to humble him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was obvious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was written all over him, right?
Yeah. And I understand. What has happened is that he has been wounded by religion. A lot of people have. I was one of them. And to separate the people that are trying to, a lot of these people that claim to be Christians have no clue what the book says. A lot of them have no understanding of the context of what the book's talking about. That's where it is up to the individual to study and make themselves approved.
Mm-hmm.
There no crib notes and stuff. Yes, if somebody has more skill with the learning and different things like that, they're supposed to teach. But it is a matter of somebody needs to be there to hold these people accountable, to sit there and go, no, that is not what that says.
Yeah.
And with the internet now, there's not a lot of excuse.
No.
You can go through there and have it in so many different translations. There are so many people that are truly qualified biblical scholars. Not televangelists, biblical scholars. There's a difference.
Yeah. There's a lot of good people out there that have really damn good information.
Yeah. But you've
right
got
at the fingertips.
And this is where it's a matter of praying for discernment.
Yeah, it's a matter of searching and finding.
Do your own research. That's true of the science or anything else. And how easily that we will take somebody else's that we don't know like it came from on high.
Yeah. We'll take it like it's gospel or something. And it's like, wait, take a step back. Is this really... I don't think this is accurate what they're saying.
Right. And especially, this is reason for months, we have been urging people, be discerning. Pray about things. A lot of stuff, you can just feel it in your spirit going, that is not right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can definitely feel that.
And it's just like, these people with these crazy eyes, and all of them, they've got that same look. What the hell is that? Is it a similar spirit?
Could be. Could be. I mean, they're all just... What is that?
I mean, we, honest to God, we've got things going on. We have no clue.
Fear.
Yeah.
That's sort of what...
Blind panic.
Yeah, that's what that look is. It is literally like a panicked animal.
Yeah. Well, if you've been listening to people that tell you that your fellow citizens are looking to, yeet you off the planet, that has a tendency to frighten people.
Mm-hmm.
And where these people have surrounded themselves with other people that have the same fear mode. And we know that mass panic is a thing. It can be contagious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Historically, there's evidence of it.
Yeah.
So, situational awareness. Especially this week and in the weeks to come, situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because people that are panicked can be dangerous. People that are mentally unwell can be dangerous. It's like we were discussing, I was in a live stream today and discussing, it's amazing. Because there's a lot of people, and I don't know, again, if it's one of those, they watched a video somewhere about somebody that had schizophrenia or whatever it was. It's not like TV, and it is very much individual. Different people have different symptoms and can act out of that. And it's like, one of the things, God, it's heart-wrenching. When you have somebody that has an episode and the people that are trying to help them, now think how you would act, on what you would do if you thought monsters or aliens or whatever these foreign entities were coming after you.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, it's family members or, professionals that are trying to help. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to, again, have a fear response.
Yeah.
Anybody would.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't truly understand what causes some mental illnesses.
I think it's a spiritual something, like a spiritual attachment,
It can be.
oppression, something.
Mm-hmm. Somebody had mentioned about the archons. I have heard of them before, but I have not done enough research to where I could really speak with any kind of surety and or authority on that.
Well, what is an archon? Just with the knowledge that you have. Okay. So is it like a leech, like a spirit leech?
I don't know. There's a lot of these spirit attachments that they very much are parasitic. Because we have seen them attached to people. And that was what I was sharing our experience. Because unfortunately, we have personal experience.
We do.
And it's not fun.
No.
And there's so much that we don't know. We know that there are different vibrations and frequencies that can trigger different people and different altered reality and behavior, subsequent behavior.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to what we don't know than what we do.
Yeah. But when someone has, like, you know, spiritual attachments on it, demonic oppression, you can feel it. You just, there's ways of knowing.
Yeah, it is different. And it's like we have people that are dear to us, that as far as the schizophrenia and stuff. And it's not like these people they're not bad people.
Yeah.
There is something that is not right in whatever realm to where they have to suffer through this. And it is a suffering.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You know, I know that with some mental health issues that it can be a matter of hormones. My God, it can be a matter of hormones. Any woman can tell you that. Yeah.
Hormones can do a lot to a person's mental state.
They can mess you up and your entire perception. Any woman that's ever been pregnant can tell you that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hormones, they be all over the place, and the emotions everywhere.
The mood swings.
That's why postpartum depression is a very real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, we've got all this stuff that's going on, and it's interesting. It's interesting because at this point we can be observers.
Mm-hmm.
But Palmer actually had a really good message about what's going on, what's coming up, things to look for. And as far as, I have the crystal ball here because there's some people as far as predicting the future.
Yeah, and we were just watching something about that.
Yeah, that spurred that also. And it's like, first of all, we're told don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons we're told don't do that is because it's out of context.
Yeah, it's out of context and it can cause panic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And that was in the little show. The situation was totally out of context.
Mm-hmm.
And so as far as the people that I watch that do the different planetary alignments and or astrology, they're not predicting things.
No, they're just telling, like, hey, this could happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is, if you feel this is what's going on.
Right. Which helps me greatly.
Yeah. I mean, how is that not beneficial when you know, like, oh, okay, so I'm feeling drained. I am feeling exhausted. My mental state's not that good. Oh, the planets are doing something funky.
Right.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because that's electromagnetic fields right there. That's frequencies.
And each individual is unique.
Mm-hmm.
There are no two humans exactly alike, because their experiences are going to vary. Even with identical twins, as far as genetically, they may be remarkably similar, but their experiences and their perception is still going to vary.
Yeah.
So, the planetary alignments, the vibrations, the frequencies, it is a very individual experience.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
That's like the color blue. We have a commonality of what we call the color blue, but each person is going to perceive it slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
Which is incredible when you stop and think about it.
It really is.
But now, as far as him saying and urging people what could be, what he is seeing within and he is remarkably, he has a talent. I do believe it is a God-given talent. And he tries to forewarn people. It's like, this looks like this can happen. Be prepared for this. Okay, if it doesn't happen, so what? So what if you stocked up on ramen noodles? If you can't eat them all, if the shit does not hit the fan, donate some of them to a local food bank. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, but also some of that stuff like the ramen, that's non-perishables right there. You stock up on that in case something does happen.
Exactly, because something very well could happen. Mm-hmm. And that's just the reality of what's going on in our world today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, the thing that has not been factored in by most of these people, because it is the true X factor, it is the unknown, is what God's going to do.
Yep. Because we have nobody knows what he's going to do.
We've got prophecy that for thousands of years, and there, historically in Scripture, there were times that God was silent or appeared to be silent. This is on an individual day-to-day basis. He'll talk to you. That's where you get these urgings, go and do this. And it's like, some of us argue, but...
Yeah. It's like, I'm not doing that.
It's like, I really don't want to have to go to there. And it's like, just go do that. And usually when he's urging me to do something, I will go ahead and do whatever usually. And it's always for a different reason. Mm-hmm. That was just like I went to the Wall of Mart, and that was on Halloween morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I had to pick up some extra things. And there was a gentleman that was walking around the store in a trash bag. And he had a little sign on the front and on the back. And it being Halloween, I didn't think that much about it. And he was going through the store, and it's like, it got to a section that was not that crowded or anything. And I said, hey, what does your sign say? And it was interesting because there seemed to be a little bit of mixed messaging in some of these things. Because the sign said, I voted on Tuesday. And then I can't remember if it was on Wednesday or whatever it was that he said. And it must have been speaking of the week before. And then the next day that his president called him garbage.
And then the what? Repeat that last part. When was it that? The
next day was what it had said. And it's like, I didn't take a picture of the man or anything like that. So if it's not verbatim, it's not intentional.
So he voted. And then next day, so what I'm hearing from this is that he voted for either Kamala or Biden again.
Well, Biden's not on the ticket, so it had to be Kamala.
And then the next day got called garbage, and now he has some voters' regret.
But the thing is, it was that the Trump supporters were referenced as garbage. So that made me see what I mean? There was a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah, so where did he get that he was called garbage? Because he voted for them.
But the thing is, to speak to him, and there was something else that he had said, and I'm thinking there might be a touch of something. Possibly. Some
mental illness.
Possible. Not necessarily an illness, but there was a disconnect somewhere, possibly. Mm. Because when you're speaking to someone, and what you think may be very clear speech or communication, it may not be so on the receiver's end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you've got a radio station and they putting out clear signal, it depends on the radio that somebody's receiving the signal from, what kind of, whether they got static or not.
Yeah. Do they got crystal clear signal, or is it just
so
demonic whispering from the speakers?
So I think that humans very much are similar, and that's the reason it's not necessarily asking someone, what did I say? it's a matter of what did you hear? Because there can be a big difference. But he was, and I told the man, I said, you know what? I said, you're bold. I said, there's not many people that have the spine enough to go out and do what you're doing. Because he was very passionate about, the man felt betrayed.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, to just take the time to talk to somebody and find out what was going on. And it doesn't take that long to make a quick assessment of somebody. I mean, he just, like I said, there was the look on his face. He was pained.
Yeah. See, I didn't get. For those who are listening, I wasn't there, so like I stayed home because I wasn't feeling good that day. So she went on the road trip, and so she got to meet Bag Dude on her own. I'm just sitting here listening
because I will go and talk to people.
Yeah.
That's how I learn things. If you don't ask questions, if you don't engage, how do you learn?
Question: was he crouched down in the bag, or was he just standing up with the bag around him?
He had the bag over him, and of course he had his face outside of the bag, and it was interesting because he was sweating buckets.
Like, yeah, it's hot outside, and he's in a trash bag.
Well, he was in the store was where he was. And he's like, I didn't think this through as far as the bag holding the heat and different things like that.
Yeah. That's when you get
people.
two sheets of cardboard and some twine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the most.
You could have had a sandwich board.
Yeah.
People have done that for a very long period of time. But what he was doing was very effective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, if you had the opportunity to know the future, would you want to?
Okay, what part of the future? Like, I would like to know whether or not people are going to be content or something. I would like to know if there's going to be peace at some point. Yeah.
Well, there will be at some point.
But that's
a given.
In the near future. How about that?
How near?
Within our lifetime.
And some things have no answers. I know that what they were saying was that 2025 is going to be kind of rough. And we are in a transitional period.
Nah. Well, my manifestation. Well, my trying to bring a new energy into this new year. Yeah, that's obviously been thwarted since it's going to be 2025 is going to be a rough year. I was being like, okay, 2025 is going to be, there's going to be peace.
Things falling off over here. Well, we don't know that, and it's a matter of, again, perspective. Peace where? Peace within is what most people are searching for. That inner peace. That no matter what is going on externally, that they can have inner peace. Mm-hmm. That is possible under any circumstance. But that
I wonder how that is possible.
There's people that do it.
Really?
Part of it has to
How do they do it? That's what I want to know.
A lot of it has to do with self-discipline. A lot of it has to do with accepting circumstances and understanding that those circumstances will change at some point. And this is one of the things with my therapy sessions, because mine's not, I don't know that my therapy sessions are normal because I'm there. And it is a matter of, I value the woman that is my therapist greatly, because she is a very intelligent woman. Mm-hmm. And that it's a matter of us communicating and just throwing ideas. It's like I can say something. She's my sounding board.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid to sit there and go, hey, have you ever thought of it like this? Or can we reframe this? Or, you really need to rethink this. And that's when you have somebody of value.
Yeah. That is good that she's able to do that with you.
But that I can go through things because the Saturn return and see where some of the life challenges, circumstances, whatever the hell you want to call it, all things like that help us to become who we are in this moment. So if we could have even the ones that are horribly, horribly painful, if we could have foreseen those, we would have avoided them. That's self-preservation.
Yeah.
But to trust and believe that those challenges, and we're not talking the ones where we did something stupid and got the consequences of our actions, because we've all had that, but that it would have not taught us what we know today. So it had value.
Mm.
Even when we made piss poor choices, the whole fuck around and find out thing.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was just one big learning experience.
Yeah. For the betterment of the soul.
Yeah.
So, if we knew the future, I think that's one of the reasons that we're not supposed to. Don't be poking around on some of that stuff because it is out of context. Now, if somebody tells you, hey, you've got this placement here, and this is not going to be, I know you want to be a brain surgeon, but honey, no, this is not, that is not your calling.
Something pop up in my head. You know that saying, like, you got to make a mess to clean a mess?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of what's happening, but also, like, a visualization of painting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the process of it, the painting's not going to look good. It's going to look like a hot mess in the midst of it.
It can.
Or at least some certain ones do. It's going to look like a hot mess. You got to trust the process.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, you can take a step back and be like, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where we
well, all the times that this looked like shit and I wanted to scrap it, I'm glad it pushed through.
Yeah. And that's where we have to trust the master artisan, the maestro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gentleman that's an artist, and he's also performance art goes in that. And he will have these ginormous canvases. And he gets in there with his hands. Usually canvas is black.
Uh-huh.
And he will have these buckets of paint, and he's on there with his hands, and it's incredible to watch him. And you're like, what in the world is this man doing? And at the end of it, he will usually turn the canvas right side up. And a lot of times it's a picture of Christ. It's incredible to watch him. If I can find his name, I'll put it in the link. Or in the description box. Whatever the hell we have.
Description box.
So, a lot of times we don't have the context on much of anything. But we do what's in front of us.
Mm-hmm. That's like, seriously, what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to focus on the day in front of us.
And the people in front of us.
And don't even go too far into that day. Like, as far as like, oh shit, something's going to happen at like 6 p.m. or whatever the fuck. Listen, that's too far ahead.
Oh, let me tell you something.
It is 7:40 something in the morning. You got how many hours? You're good for now.
Anybody who has ever struggled with alcoholism and addiction, they very much understand what that minute by minute thing feels like.
Yeah.
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 Final thoughts, kid.
It's going to be a rough time, but we can do it.
I think so. Yeah. And it's just
That's
one
like
of those.
Uh-huh.
It's as far as God leading and guiding on all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's choice. People do not have to have him in their lives. There's lots of them that they want to try to navigate this, excuse me, to navigate this on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that.
This time I'm actually going to try to do a thing, which is learn how to properly regulate emotions. I've already been looking up stuff as far as how to do that.
Right.
So I don't lose my mind.
Well, yeah.
But also I found out something in my chart. It's like,
honey, you're a Pisces.
exactly, I already have that emotional, emotional fuckery. I need to figure out how to regulate this stuff in a healthy manner.
Sure. Well, it's like be like water. What are some of the properties of water?
Well, it's healing.
It very much is healing.
If it's in a calm state or whatever, like if I don't know how to properly explain this.
Well, water it takes the shape of whatever that it's poured into.
Yeah.
So that's where you have to be especially mindful of who you're around.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It is is mutable the proper term? Because it molds into, like you said,
Sort
into
of,
whatever. Yeah. Very adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
It adapts into whatever environment, and that could be to the detriment.
Absolutely, it can be to the detriment of the person. And it's like you can have this lovely babbling brook, or with enough rain, extra water that's uncontrolled, you've got a raging river that can cause devastation like we've seen recently.
Mm-hmm.
Water is a powerful element. It truly is.
It is. It can either heal or destroy.
Yeah. And so within that, but it's not like everything is Pisces and you've got to mix like everybody else.
No,
Yeah.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's stuff in my chart, like the Pisces along with the Aries. Like,
Right.
I really got to watch my ass during this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Aries, they can be such wonderful trailblazers. The Fool card comes to mind with Aries, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because people that are worried about every little thing and making every little mistake, they don't do anything a lot of times because they're living their lives trapped in fear. But as far as the Fool card, that's the one that's going out here and doing things and, does not have to have the fear stop them. The only thing about Aries, they have a tendency to leap before they look.
Yeah. They tend to make really snap and dumb decisions
Sometimes, yeah. And to harness that energy.
But during this time where the planetary stuff is really rough right now, and just overall times, this is a time that everybody needs to just take a step back.
Sure.
Sort of be like, it's all right. And figure out how to work through those waters, how to swim through those waters.
Well, it's a matter, yes it is. You're absolutely right, but it's also a matter of learning how emotional maturity works.
I think that goes along with it.
Sometimes, but not always. And that has nothing to do with chronological age, because we have seen some of these people that are older people that do not, they've got about the same emotional maturity and regulation of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. Because what happens with a 2-year-old, they're fine until you say no. And then it's
and then they pitch up.
And then you sit there and it's like, are you finished? Let them wear themselves out and go, are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
You still ain't going to do it. Because as a parent, that's what you do.
Yes. Yes.
So it's interesting. But I have learned, I learned a long time ago, like I said, I use, as far as listening to the astrologers and stuff, it's like listening to a weather forecast for me. I put it in the same reference.
We'll see, like that. That's actually really helpful to know. It really is.
Yeah.
Also, this is going to be an ADHD thing. To answer your question, if you could change, peek into the future, would you? No.
No. Yeah.
Because that would just fuck shit up, and I would be too antsy. That would get me anxiety and stuff like that. No, I don't want that.
What it would do is somehow discolor the present.
Yeah. Yeah, it would take away from the whole journey.
Yeah. Step by step, day by day.
It's like in video games. That's like movies, video games, or books. You don't want to know the ending before you play the game.
It sort of ruins it.
Yeah.
It's no fun when it's like that. That's like spoilers and these people that they have to go in and spoil something for. Why?
When was it that you were like, thank you for spoiling it? But I just told you one little thing. I didn't spoil the whole thing for you, did I?
Honey, that's the bad thing about having the psychic bullshit. You can tell me one little thing and all of a sudden it's like the flash and I've got it. And it's just like, well, shit.
All of it is there?
Sometimes.
Was it like that when I told you?
It was enough to where I'm going, yeah, no, okay, whatever. It's just like presents. I learned when I was a small child, for me to not touch presents.
See, when I do that, and I'm just basing this off of like my experience with friends and stuff like that, but if I told someone like a little snippet, that would get them more excited to look into it usually. But
I'm weird. And it just is. But like, that's why if somebody's like, I got you a gift, I'm like, okay, take it in there. Do not get it near me. I don't want to touch the bag. I don't want to touch the box. I don't want to touch nothing because it ruins the surprise.
Yep.
So that's not fun for me.
No.
You want to tell them where we can be found? Everybody's having a spiritual and supernatural spoopy shit.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Check us out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Orlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter. Orlanda, COCWS.
Yeah. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Each day. Make the most of each day.
Moment by moment. Moment by moment.
Warren Zevon, he said, enjoy every sandwich. That mindfulness. Yeah.
Just really appreciate it. Bask in it.
Yeah.
Gotta bask in it.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.